Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to our first video recorded lecture. This time we are going to be starting off with genetics, and we are going to use Harry Potter, which is a book series, movie series, has two different theme parks, in case you haven't heard of it. Some things about Harry Potter that you might need to know is that everyone in there, all the main characters are witches and wizards and things like that. And so we're going to start with some phenotypes found in the Harry Potter characters. Now, pheno goes for physical. You can see there's a PH in both. So phenotype, physical. So it's a physical characteristic you can see or a trait that is shown. So here we see this family right here. So this family right here. And this family is called the Weasley family. Now, if we go into the book, we see that there's a comment that says, all the Weasleys have red hair, freckles, and more children than they can afford. 2 out of those 3 are a phenotype. The third is just a mean comment. Here we see that we have another quote from the same book. It says, Harry has a thin face, knobby knees, black hair, and bright green eyes. Once again, from the books The Sorcerer's Stone. And if we look right here, you can definitely see that that has the thin face. But if you look, because it's a movie versus reality, we have blue eyes instead of green eyes. So those are some of the physical characteristics from that. Now, in this quote, we have a pale boy with a pointed face and white blonde hair. Draco greatly resembled his father. His mother was blonde too. Now, if we look at the photo that they have here, we have definitely that pointed face, but we also get the blonde hair being shown, that white blonde hair. Now, applying genetics to Harry Potter characters, a phenotype is an observable trait resulting from how one's genes are expressed. So a couple of examples, hair color, eye color, sickle cell disease. These are all traits that are expressed from our DNA. You can also look at some other phenotypes that you guys see every day. Skin tone, height, weight, those are all, well, weight is iffy. Those are all things that can be phenotypes. A genotype consists of 2 letters that represents a gene's allele pair, and that this results in a phenotype. So the genotype is what alleles are in your genes, and we usually represent this by letters. If it is a capital letter, it is dominant, which means it's going to show. And if it is a lowercase letter, it is recessive, which means that it is going to be masked by the dominant if the dominant is with it. So to show a recessive trait, both alleles need to be homozygous recessive. So how are wizards made? Well, here, being a wizard or a muggle is all decided by genetics, and all humans, including wizards, receive 1 allele from each parent. So the allele to be a wizard is lowercase m or recessive m. So wizards have the alleles little m, or they're homozygous recessive. Remember, homozygous means the same. So they're homozygous recessive. They have the same 2 little m's. Now the allele for muggleness is a capital M, meaning that it is a dominant trait. Meaning if you have that capital M, even if you have that little m, you are going to be a muggle. Now, for those of you who are like, I don't really know much about Harry Potter, muggleness means to not be a wizard, to be a normal person, to be non-magical. So muggles have the alleles of big M, little m to be heterozygous, or big M, homozygous dominant. So big M is dominant to little m. So you can only be a wizard if you do not have that capital M allele. So here we have the Malfoys. You see that Lucius Malfoy is little m, and Narcissa Malfoy is little m. So each of them can only give that little m allele to Draco. So here he gets the little m from dad, and here he gets the little m from mom. And we know that both family members are homozygous recessive because they are a pure blood family, meaning all of their ancestors are wizards, so all of them must have the little m allele. Here we have the Potters. Now Lily is little m, so she's a witch, and James is little m, so he's a wizard. So since both of them have to give that little m allele to Harry, he gets a little m. You guys can see that actually right here on the PowerPoint. It kind of got moved, weirdly enough. So there you go. He's little m. So both Harry's parents had the magical ability, so both of them had to be little m, and they passed that on to Harry. Weasleys are all purebloods, so they have a pureblood family, so they are all little m. They all have the wizard allele. Now Hermione, she is a witch, so she has to be little m, but her parents are muggles. So for her to be a witch and her parents to be muggles, that means both parents had to give her a little m allele. So if we were to draw this out real quick, we'll just take this, we'll make a quick box. So Hermione, we're going to put her right here, is a little m. That means the mom must have a little m and the dad must have a little m. Oh. Nope, that's working there. Why is this not working over here? All right. We'll try it over here. Okay. So Hermione is little m. So that means the mom has to give a little m and the dad has to give a little m. But since they're both muggles, that means they both have to have that capital M as well. So she is little m because she's a witch, but the parents are muggles, so but they have to give that little m, which means they are heterozygous. They have both the capital M and a little m. They are a carrier. They carry the gene. Now, Tom Riddle, he's known as a half-blood. That means that one parent was a witch or a wizard, and then the other parent was a muggle. In his case, his mother was a witch and his father was a muggle. So his father, for Tom to be a wizard, must have given the little m allele, meaning that he needed to be heterozygous, big M, little m, so he could give the little m allele for him. So here is mom on this side, and here's dad. So if you look, that heterozygous, he gives the little m to Tom, and here's mom, she gives the little m, so Tom is little m. Now Filch, he is what is known as a squib. This is a person who is born to a wizard family, but does not have powers. And since both of his parents are little m, they have powers, he should be able to have powers too, but he doesn't. And the reason why he should have powers is because both parents cannot give him that big M allele. So this means that a mutation had to have occurred to where his parent visiting powers don't work, or the man he thinks his father really isn't his father and his mother had an affair with a muggle. Now, here we're going to look at this. This is Ron and Hermione, and if they had children, what would their children be? Well, we're going to draw it out real quick. We'll draw it right here. We're going to make Ron red and Hermione, we'll say yellow, because why not? Yellow is not used enough. So Ron is little m, and Hermione is little m, So for this, Hermione's is going to go across, so little m over here, little m over here. Now, big thing I want you guys all to notice with these are called Punnett squares. Each of these, so right here, that is a possible egg, and right here is a possible egg. Really badly drawn circles. So same thing right here is a possible sperm, and I'll draw a little tail for you guys, and right here is a possible sperm. And so each of these squares that were drawn out right here are a possible child combination. So dads are going to go down. So here we have an egg and a sperm meet, and if you look, every single one of these are little m, little m. So that means all of their children would be witches and wizards. Would be wizards. Now here we have a possible combination between Ginny and Dudley, and we're going to say Dudley is a big M, little m. Now this means he's heterozygous. So Ginny can only give that little m allele, and Dudley can give a big M, or he can give a little m. So if we did this on, remembering that big M is a dominant trait, so it's going to be, muggleness is a dominant trait. So that big M is saying, hey, this is dominant, and it's going to be what is actually shown. Now, if Dudley is a homozygous dominant, or capital M, Ginny can only give the little m, and Dudley can only give the capital M, which means that all the children are going to be heterozygous, meaning all of them are going to be muggles. So here we're going to say, what would you expect Hermione's brothers and sisters to have if she had sisters? Well, Mrs. Granger here, as we discussed earlier, is capital M, little m. So she is heterozygous. Same for Mr. Granger. Now, if we were to draw this out for each of the children, there's a little m. So that child is going to be a wizard, just like Hermione. Over here, we have a capital M, little m. Here, same thing, capital M, little m. And this very last box is a capital M, capital M. So we have a 1/4 chance of having the wizard ability, a 1/4 chance of being homozygous dominant for being a muggle, and a 1/2 chance of being heterozygous and carrying the gene. But if we look at it, this is a 3-to-1 ratio with one of them being a wizard and the other 3 being muggle. Here we have this question, and it is, Harry has dark brown hair like his father, but his mom has red hair. Using the genotypes of big B and little b, what possible genotypes does each of the Potters have? Now, we're just saying if capital B is dominant, so having brown hair is dominant, and red hair is recessive, little b is recessive. Using big B for homozygous dominant for brown hair, big B, little b for heterozygous, still showing the trait of brown hair, and little b showing the trait of red hair, homozygous recessive, what's the possible genotypes for Harry's parents? So the mom can be, well, the mom is going to be little b because she's going to have red, and the dad is going to have big B little b or big B because he has brown hair. He has that dark brown hair. So given the traits, we're going to draw out the Punnett squares. Now we're going to do big B first, because why not? And a big B, little b on the second. So that's Harry's dad. And we're going to go and draw out the mom. We're going to do this in green. Little b, and we're going to do this on both of them right here. Now remember, since this is on the side, we're going to go across on all of them. Little b, little b, little b, little b. They all go across. Same on this one. All the little b's are going to go across. Because remember, each of these on the side, here and here, are possible eggs and sperm. That's what they are. They are possibilities. Oh. They are what could happen. Now, dad's is going to drop. So this one's going to go down. This one's going to go down. Same over here. And the same on this side. Now, if we look, we see that on this one, all of them are heterozygous, meaning they're all going to have that brown hair. They're all going to have that brown hair on this first square. Where over here, we look at this square, and 1/2 of them are heterozygous, so they're going to have that brown hair, but the other half are homozygous recessive, meaning they're going to show the red hair trait. So given the Punnett squares for the parents, the only possible genotype for Harry, big B, little b, so heterozygous. He has dark brown hair. So here's our second question. Harry marries Ginny, who has red hair. What are the possible genotypes of hair? Well, Harry be little b, as we just discussed last time, and Ginny has red hair, so she's going to be little b, little b. So using this, we're going to figure out what the possibilities are. So Harry, big B, little b. We're going to put Ginny on the side, right here, and she's little b, little b. And we're going to fill out this Punnett square real quick, remembering that all of the ones on the side are going to go across, and all the ones on the top are going to go down. So for 1/2, they're going to be heterozygous, and for the other half, they're going to be homozygous recessive, meaning that their children is a 50% chance of having red hair or of having brown hair.